Welcome back. Top stamps from top 3 countries. Germany. Baden 9 Cruiser Error Stamp issued in 1851. Only 4 copies can be found. Sold for 1,545,000 United States dollar. Germany Oldenburg 1/3 GR black on a green paper stamp imperforate issued in 1859. Sold for $389,183 in the auction. Our next stamp is from Germany, Audrey Hepburn stamp, issued in 2001. Modern philatelic rarity, sold for $176,000 in the auction. Very rare stamp. Cursed Fest Error stamp issued in 2016. The Dutch word Cursed Fest instead of Vrolijk Cursed Feast, sold for $112,394 United States dollar. The 2 mark Germania stamp with quaterfoil watermarked issued in 1920 and the selling price in the auction was $65,500 United States dollar. 5M Kaiser Wilhelm II invert error stamp issued in 1905 and the selling price was $60,790, sold for $60,790. 1 Cruiser black stamp issued in 1849, first postage stamp issued in the Kingdom of Bavaria, Germany, 44,957 USD. Section 3 Fanning red stamp issued in 1850 and only few copies of this great item were issued for mail, sold for $30,300 in the auction. Well, Olympic Games stamp Germany, a 60 Fanning plus 30 Fanning semi-postal stamp issued in 1980 and sold for $22,460 United States dollar. Imperforate Baden 3 Cruiser Pale Rose stamp issued in 1850. Only the limited quantity of these items was sent to the post. Sold for $19,300. Half NG black on blue paper, pale blue paper. Frederick Augustus stamp issued in 1851 and sold for $16,100 in the auction. German New Guinea 1898 issue 25PF denomination color orange. Error inverted overprint and mint 4,000 euros. The price was. Well, 1872 eagle with small breast shield arms embossed as type A perforation 13/3/4 and 14/1/4 and sold for $16,000. Japan stamps. Dragons and denomination inverted face value 500 won error stamp and the stamp was issued in 1871, sold for $4,800,000. Tama 6 Yo stamp issued in 1875 and discovered by a Scandinavian philatelist, sold for $124,635 in the auction. Well, cherry blossom stamp 1 cent denomination and the year of issue was 1875 and this beautiful cherry blossom stamp was sold for $22,200 in the auction. Dragons and denomination stamp 1 cent, the value and blue color 1872 issuing year and sold for $14,832 in the auction. Dragons and denomination. Ryukyu Island airmail error stamp issued in 1960 and this Ryukyu Island stamp was sold for $11,210. Well, another valuable stamp is cherry blossom, the 6 cent violet brown stamp issued in 1874 and this stamp was sold for $9,641. 6 cent denomination year 1874. Another cherry blossom stamp 20S denomination and red violet color. The issuing year is 1874 and sold for $8,158. This is also cherry blossom. 30 cent gray syllabic 1 stamp, and the year of issue is 1874, and sold for $3,500 in the auction. Gray syllabic 1 stamp. Well, bird series stamp, and the denomination is 12 cent. Color is rose, and the year of issue is 1875, and the stamp was sold for $2,600. Well, Empress Jingo, beautiful stamp, 10 yen, denomination, and the year of issue 1914, and sold for $1,875. The Empress Jingo 10 yen stamp. 1875, year of issue, and 5 cent, green color, usual perforations, and fine appearance. And the selling price was 40,000 yen. Well, another valuable stamp is 1913 1Y, yellow, green, and maroon, lightly hinged and very fine, and sold for 190,000 yen. Japanese yen, 190,000. Well, 1924 Empress Jingo, 10 yen, denomination and color dull violet, lightly hinged and very fine, sold for 90,000 Japanese yen in the auction. 1961 Cherry Blossom, 10Y, lilac, rose and grey, imperforate horizontal pair, never hinged and very fine, sold for $425 in the auction. Well, 1916 higher apparent, set of 3, hinge remnant and very fine, and sold for $630 in the auction. Our next stamps are from China. Well, large dragon stamp issued in 1878, and this one is China first ever stamp. The stamp was sold for $118,526. 8F, Views of Peking Orange, unissued, 1956. Background of rays of sunlight above the gate of heavenly peace, sold for $148,164. Hall of Classic invert stamp issued in 1915, and only around 30 examples are known to exist today, sold for $160,000 in the auction. Well, Red Monkey, very popular, 1980 stamp, complete sheet of 80 stamps, unmounted mint, sold for $192,606. Chinese stamp theatrical mask of the Beijing opera stamp issued in 1964, and the stamp was sold for $251,869 in the auction. Theatrical mask. Well, 8F, 40th anniversary of the establishment of Jinggangshan Revolutionary Basis stamp, 1967 year, sold for $281,512. The inverted sun Yat-sen, father of the nation stamp, the issuing year is 1941, and sold for $305,707 in the auction. Blue military stamp, 1953 issuing year, unused without gum as issued, and this stamp was sold for $428,654 in the auction. Well, the Red Maiden in the green robe stamp, and the year of issue 1897, sold for $444,477 in the auction. Very expensive and rare. 5 Cash Elephant Essay, 1878. Chinese character in black, but the frame country and value in brown color, sold for $463,000 in the auction. Well, olive colored Queen Victoria's head, 1864 stamp, with the face value of 96 Hong Kong cents, sold for $820,000. Well, this one is also expensive. Red Revenue large figure surcharge, $1 on 3 cent stamp, issued in 1897, sold for $878,908. Well, another Chinese stamp 10 cent on 9 candy, dark green color, issued in 1897. And this one was sold for $933,000 in the auction. Very expensive and very rare. Well, the whole country is red. Very popular and rare 1968 small island of the Taiwan in white error. Sold for $2 million in the auction. I hope you liked the video. Thank you and please subscribe.